Okay, in any case, I think we can start. I'm going to be starting here, and then our students that are online, they're going to be joining us at the end to share their experience. So in the meantime, we will find a solution. At least we can start. Sorry for the delay, which was not planned. So let me share the presentation. Slides. All right, so welcome all of you. For those of you that do not know me yet, my name is Ursi Van der Herten, and I'm glad to represent the Esade Business School here today. So this is our first time we are in Rwanda, and I'm really excited. I've been traveling around a little bit. It's a beautiful country, amazing people, very peaceful. So I'm really grateful to be here. After this session, we will have another session, which is going to be a roundtable on entrepreneurship. So we're going to have a full room, which is a session that has also been organized by the African Leadership University. We have been collaborating with them. I was on their campus yesterday to talk to their students, to their graduates, mainly for our master programs, because they're more junior. So that's why today I wanted to talk more about our MBA, our full-time MBA program and executive MBA program. So the intention is, so I'm very happy that Daniel is here with us. So he already explained to you that he's currently doing the executive MBA at Esade, and his spouse is doing the full-time MBA. So yeah, thanks for coming all the way from Uganda. And then online, we also have several students that are going to be joining us from the full-time MBA program, and then also from the executive MBA. So let me first tell you a little bit more about Esade. Have you heard about Esade before you came here? Any of you? No? Okay, so this is your first encounter with us. So yeah, first a little bit more about where we are located. So Esade is located in Barcelona. Have any of you been in Barcelona? In Spain? No. So well, Barcelona is an amazing city. I've been living there for 23 years. So and it's hard to leave. So that's why after so many years I'm still there. There is a lot going on in Barcelona. It's a very international city. A lot of conferences are taking place. And I was also surprised here in Kigali, seeing that there's a lot going on here in the conference center, and a lot of foreign people are coming here. So which is nice, seeing this interaction, right, from outside, not only other African countries, but then also from all around the world. So same in Barcelona, we have the big Mobile World Congress, which you might know, because they told me that last year there was also a similar conference, mobile conference here in Kigali. That's what I was told yesterday. But we have like a lot of events taking place in Barcelona. So Esade has several campuses. We have two campuses in Barcelona and then one campus in Madrid. The main campus, I would say the biggest campus, is right outside Barcelona, and it's where our bachelor students and our MSc students are having class. And then our executive MBA is taking place on another campus, and full-time MBA, which is the one, the pink building that you can see the pictures on top. So we have, yes, we a little bit more about the numbers about Esade. Can you please take away the video so that I can read? Yes, thanks. So we have every year on campus more than 10,000 students, and more than 100 nationalities are present on campus. So in fact, Esade is, well, there are 3 business units. We have the business school, we have the law school, and then executive education. So our full-time MBA, our master programs, and our executive MBA, they're all part of the business school. So Esade well, there are some, they're not too many, but we are one of the the lucky ones that have the triple accreditation, which you can see EMBA, AA, CSB, and then ICWIS accreditation. And then we are partnering with a lot of schools around the world. So in total, there are more than 50 schools we're partnering with, and depending on the program, there's going to be different kind of partnerships. For example, for the MSc, for the master programs, we have study tours where our students are going to different partner schools around the world. For the full-time MBA, we have an exchange program where the students are going for 3 months living abroad on the campus of one of the partner schools. And then in the executive MBA, for example, we work together with different schools for the electives, which I will explain later on, and then also for international weeks. Then well, a little bit more about the school, our mission, of course, our first education, and also there's a lot of research going on. We do have different research departments, like, for example, we have the Entrepreneurship Institute, we have the Social Innovation Institute. So there's a lot of research going on, and then of course also our PhD program. And social debate, where we like to be present in different, like here today, like later on the round table. So we're trying to be present in and participate in social debates. Then a little bit about our culture and philosophy. Really important here. I mean, when they ask me how is Esade different from other schools, or what would you like to highlight about Esade, then it's these 3 things. First of all, the collaborative spirit. All our programs, you will see that there's a lot of focus on group work, and which is important for us because we want our students to work together, to learn from each other, to share experiences, because at the end, a lot of what you will learn from your peers, right? Of course, also from the professors, but then also from your peers. It's a very hands-on experience, what means practical. So there's going to be a lot of interaction with companies working on real challenges, which of course also gives you exposure to companies, which can end in collaborations, in job offers, and so on. So there's a lot of interaction with companies coming to campus, participating in classes, and then focus on you. What do I mean with that is that there is a way in all the programs to customize them. So, and I will explain that for the full-time MBA, the executive MBA, so that there is a complete term where you will decide what you're going to be studying. So you can combine the courses that you think will add value to your career. So again, teamwork, very important. It's really in our genes, and it's the first thing also what you will hear from our students when you talk to them and tell us a bit more about Esade. The first thing they will say, okay, group work and learning from each other. So yeah, so a little bit more about our alumni network, which at the end is also important because of course you're doing your program, but after that it's not finished, right? You want to stay in contact with your peers whenever you travel around the world, you do business around the world, you relocate. It's important to know that you have all those people around the world. So we have more than 72,000 alumni around the world, and more than 150 nationalities. So, we have what we call international chapters. Those are official chapters. And to have an official alumni chapter, we need a minimum of alumni in a city. So, for example, Africa, we have an official chapter in Johannesburg. And that means that this chapter has a budget, they can organize events, but then also in other countries like here, like for example, when we travel to Kenya, to Ghana, to Nigeria, Egypt, Morocco, we've been, although we don't have an official chapter, of course we have alumni, so we do organize events with them. And then we have the cross-sectoral clubs like marketing club, entrepreneur club, and so on. Then something more about services. So once you graduated, you can still count on the services offered by the alumni network, like lifelong learning, professional development, and networking. Important also, Esade, and I will tell a bit more about that. We have a strong focus on entrepreneurship, innovation. So also after you graduate, you can still be part of this group of entrepreneurs. We have our angel investors. Ben has been nominated, the biggest and the best has been nominated in Europe. So there are a lot of alumni that have come together and formed this group of investors. You can see there about 70% of business angels, family businesses, and so on. So what makes us special? As I said, a strong focus on entrepreneurship and on innovation. In the next session, Davide Rovira will be here. He's the manager of eWorks, which is one of the, I would say, working spaces, services offered by our Entrepreneurship Institute. So the Entrepreneurship Institute, of course, is doing research, but is also collaborating with all the programs. So you can see there at the left, from bachelor degree to master programs, MBA. We also have a master program specific in entrepreneurship. If you decide to do an executive MBA, you will have entrepreneurship courses, and then also the opportunity to do electives if you want to go deeper in the topic. Then another thing I think which makes us special is the social impact. So we have a social center for social impact. They of course also do research. They're focusing on different research areas, as you can see: impact investment, impact entrepreneurship, impact measurement, and then also gender lens investing. So the director of the center, her name is Lisa Heenberger. She's an expert. She's been doing a lot of projects in Africa. She's an expert in social impact investment. So yeah, here you can see some of the topics. And some numbers here, the publications that have been done since 2019, the events that have been organized, all with focus on social impact. Then, okay, next, I would like to talk a little more about a full-time MBA, taking in account, I don't know, all of you, and seeing your profiles and so on. I don't know, can I ask you if you're interested in the executive MBA, full-time MBA, so that I know I can go a little bit deeper in one or the other? Yeah. Executive, yeah. Executive, yeah. Okay. Executive. Okay, so I'm gonna go quickly through the full-time MBA then. So these are some rankings. When you choose a school, when you choose a program, of course, the rankings are important. It's not the most important, but I mean, so here you can see some of the rankings that are specifically for our full-time MBA. So these are rankings from the full-time MBA, QS, and then POITs and quants. In all the programs, we really work on diversity, which means that we try to get together students from very different, well, first nationalities, backgrounds, and from very different functional areas. And here you can see the representation for the full-time MBA. And then also their academic background. So we have every year about 185, from which more than 40 different nationalities. Then the structure of the MBA program, you will see that, well, it's customizable, like all of our programs. You can choose between 12 months, 15 months, and 18 months, depending if you want to do after the 12 months an exchange program or also an internship. And then, yes. So customizable, also our full-time MBA program. If you want to go deeper into a specific area, into consulting and financial services and technology, you can do a specific career accelerator program. And then you can also do choose the electives in the last term. And this is also when you're doing the executive MBA, some of the electives, they will have them together with the executive MBA. I think we can go a little bit faster because I want to concentrate more on the executive MBA. So yeah, we can go a little bit first. Yeah, just go further. Yeah. Okay, some of the recruiters, I want to say a little bit more about our career service here, because it's also for the executive MBA. So we have a career team of more than 40 people. So they're really going to be working with you, depending, of course, on your professional goals. If you want to change job, if you want to redirect, so you will have the opportunity to be in contact with recruiters that are coming to campus, not only full-time MBA, also the executive MBA. So our careers team, they work per sector. So they are really specialized in consulting, financial sector, technology. Even there's now a person which is really focusing on international organizations and social impact. So these are some of the companies. There's another, yeah. Okay, so then the executive MBA, I want to dedicate a little bit more time here then. Yes, please. Our executive MBA, also some of the rankings, the recent rankings from the Financial Times and the QS. So we were ranked second this year for diversity. As I said, very important for us to have our students will also tell you a little bit more about diversity that they had in class. And then if we go and look at the best executive MBAs worldwide, we have been ranked 9th worldwide. And then for executive education, we are the 4th worldwide been ranked. So Daniel already mentioned a little bit, I heard before, about the different formats that we have of executive MBA. So the ones at the right, which is bilingual, which I assume won't be interesting for you, because it's Spanish and then also partly in English, because they will be doing the same international weeks, and you will have electives. So of course English is important, but I think the one that would be most interesting for all of you would be the hybrid format, which is a format that Daniel is doing, because you don't have classes every month. With a monthly one, you will be traveling every month for 3 days. But for the hybrid one, I will show you, it's every 3-4 months that you have 1 week module. In between, you have online classes every Friday or Saturday. You can choose. You have about 3 hours of class, and then every 3-4 months you have a week module. So in total, mandatory modules, there are 5. There are 3 in Barcelona, 1 in Madrid, and then there's one where you could choose between Israel and Germany. There are 2 additional modules that are not mandatory to get your degree, but you can I recommend to do them, because it gives you extra exposure, which is in the US, and then another module where you can choose between Dubai and Asia. This year, with rethinking, instead of China, they're thinking about Korea or Japan. So it's still to be decided for the next edition. So yeah. The diversity in class. So this is based on the 4 formats. So when you're going to be in class and you're going to be doing electives, when you're going to be doing this international weeks, you're going to be mixed with students from the other formats. So regarding your network, it's an amazing opportunity, because you're going to be with those that are with you in class, but then also with the others that are doing the other executive MBA formats, depending on the classes, and then the international tours. But then also, when you're going to be doing electives, which is in the last term, you can decide to do those electives, which are 1 or 2 days long, at Esade, but you can also do them at one of the, I believe there are now like 17 schools we're working with around the world. So if you're going to go to those schools, you're going to be in class with executives from the programs there. So that means that, again, you can broaden your network, right? If you say, okay, I want to do some courses in Bocconi in Milan, or I want to do some courses in Aalto University in Finland, or I want to go to UCLA and do some electives there. So that means that you will have this exposure to the business networks of those schools, and then, of course, the alumni at those schools. Can you correct? Yeah. All right. So going back to the diversity, so we have about 40 nationalities represented in Daniel's class, and I'll show that afterwards. There's been some changes, right? Because there's a possibility to change from one format to the other. For example, you're based here. I said, okay, I'm going to be starting the hybrid format because I can't travel every month. But then you have a change with your work, you change your company, and you're going to be based in the Netherlands. So it's okay, instead of doing hybrid, now I prefer to go to class and to go every month, right? So then there's a possibility for we're going to be working with you to see what you have covered, what not, so to shift from one program to the other. And I know that, Daniel, there have been some switches in between the classes, so I don't know now how many there are in each, in the hybrid and in the monthly. So there are some students that have shifted like that. So this is a hybrid format. This is Daniel's class before the changes. So there were 32 students. The average age is 35. Average work experience is 12 years of work experience. And then we're very proud of the female representation. So we're also working hard on that. Besides, so it's part of the diversity, and we would like to reach the 50 this year, so I hope we're getting there. Yeah, so, and here you can also see the different nationalities. So out of the 32 participants, there are 25 different countries represented. So what is the difference in profile maybe between the monthly and the hybrid format? That you will have as many as different nationalities and countries represented, only that if you have, for example, executives from Africa doing the monthly, they will be based most probably in the Netherlands. Like Henry, who's joining us, he's from Nigeria. He's based in the Netherlands. So that means that you will be in class with other executives, but that come with the work experience from Europe, because most of them will be living in Europe because of the classes every month. So this is, while then in the hybrid format, like Bruno, who's here, Daniel is here, they are in the countries where they're working, so they come with the work experience from their country. So this would be the main difference. So the average age, as we said, 35, but that means that it can be very diverse, because what's important for the executive MBA, what we take in account in order to admit candidates to the program, is the work experience. So you might be 28, but been working in a family business for the last 8 years and managing a team, or you might be 55 and well, you're running your own company, you want to be updated with the latest trends, build your network, expand your business. So it depends on the motivation. So that's why we have in class both students that can be 28 but also 60, right? So it all depends on the experience and the motivations of the executive for doing and here you can also see the different sectors that are represented. So out of the 32, I mean, we have almost 20 different sectors. So that's also interesting, because at the end, if you want to innovate, if you want to do things differently, it's well, most probably you go to your direct competitors and see what they're doing. I'm doing it with other business schools, but then in order to be innovative, it's interesting to see what's going on in other sectors and how can I apply it in my sector. So that's why important to have all this diversity. Now, how is the program structured? You will see there are, we divided in 4 phases, and you will see that each phase has its courses, and from one side you will see they're like more like, I would say, standard MBA courses, like marketing, we have strategy, finance, but then we have added a good number of courses that we think and we're convinced of that will add value to your profile, sustainability, innovation, bringing change, and so on. So you can see the list of courses that are taking place in each term. In the last term, this is the term that you're going to be deciding what you're going to be studying. So that's when the electives come in. And if we go to the next slide, before going and telling you a bit more about electives, besides the courses that are taking place in each term, we also have topics that you will be taking with you during the entire program. So you're going to be working with a coach on your leadership. There's a specific leadership program that we have designed at Esade that you're going to be part of. You're going to have your personal coach to work with. And then, of course, all the other general management skills. We're going to focus also on your entrepreneurial mindset without, I would say, being entrepreneurial doesn't mean necessarily that you need to become an entrepreneur, right? But how to be entrepreneurial in your company. So this is what we mean with entrepreneurial mindset. Then the electives. So in the last term, you will be deciding what you're going to be studying. So that means that Esade will give you a list of electives, and those are courses that are 1 or 2 days long. And then you can decide to do those courses at Esade. So they will say, okay, these are the courses, they will take place those dates at Esade. Some also are online, but then our partner schools that we're working with, you can see here on the slide, they also publish their list of electives and the dates. So then it's up to you to see, okay, I'm interested in those topics that are covered by those schools, or I'm interested in, I don't know, establishing relations or expanding my business in this country. So why don't you go to one of those schools and be part of their also of their student network, right, while you're there. So these schools are on the 5 continents where you can do the electives. Yes. So a little bit more about a career. This is, I believe, from the 2021, the group that graduated. So we have about 46% that changed their company, 37% got a promotion internally, and then also 17% became entrepreneurs. And this is something that, well, here we mean a lot of our students, we see that they don't have the intention to become entrepreneurs, but when they do the executive MBA, they get the tools, they feel more comfortable, they build their network, and they come up with new ideas. So that's why a lot of the executives that maybe didn't think of becoming an entrepreneur, after that they feel comfortable and they start up their own business, or they start up their business with peers, classmates, and so on. So so yeah, and then we also see the average salary increase, and then which is the average salary we put there, which is 1 year after graduation. So the motivation for our students for the executive MBA to do an executive MBA is diverse. So it can be you have your own business, so you want to expand your business, you want to have the knowledge, you want to have build more skills, you want to be a better leader. So this could be one of the motivations for you to do an executive MBA. Then we have those executives that are working in a multinational company that are able to grow, that see the opportunity to grow, and they need more skills, and they need more management skills, they need more knowledge in order to grow in the company. Then there might be others that want to do a career change. So they are stuck in their company, and they want to see opportunities outside of the company, get into a higher level position, and and want to do this executive MBA to have the knowledge to do so. Yes. Then these are some of our alumni from the executive MBA, some of the representatives of Esade in companies like PepsiCo, HP, and Johnson & Johnson. And yes. A little bit more about the application process. I'm going to be very quick here because we can talk about it afterwards also. So those application rounds, they are not applicable for the executive MBA, that's for the full-time MBA. So we work on really on a rolling base. So that means that if you're interested in applying, you get in contact with me, you will have to fill in an online application. We ask you to do an admissions test, which can be the Esade test, so which is free of charge. Once you submit your application, you can book your admissions test. And then when we have the test result, when your application is complete, there will be an official interview, which is going to be with me. Then I present your application to the admissions committee. And then it's very fast because we take decisions every week. So the program starts every year in October. So we still have seats available. We're still in full admissions process for this year. And I can also share the calendar with you if you're interested. I can send it to you by email so that you have an idea about how the program is structured and so on. When are the international weeks taking place and and so on. So this is the application process. Then a little bit more about the financing. Yes. So if we go to the executive MBA, you will see that the full tuition fee is 67,500. And then, of course, we do have scholarships available. So for the executive MBA, you can apply for an Excellence Award. When you apply for your application, you will also see that you will find information on that. What are the different Excellence Awards? You choose the one that you feel more comfortable with. So the amount of the scholarship does not depend on which one you choose. It really depends on your profile, on your experience. Now, I must say that if you have a good experience, a solid work experience coming from the African continent, I mean, this is recorded, but it's sure you're going to have a scholarship, right? Now, to realistically, the percentage of scholarships, the highest percentage that we've been giving so far is about 35% of the tuition fee, maximum 40%. We also give an early bird discount, and that's for everybody who enrolls, but that's before the end of May. So we don't have this early bird anymore for this year, but we will take that in account when we take a decision about the scholarship. So yeah, and then a lot of our students are combining the scholarship with study loans. So we're working with different banks. Once you're admitted to the program, you can reach out to all of them, and you can start your application with them and see which bank gives you the best conditions. Yeah, so we have been, so the Bank Sabadell is a Spanish bank, Prodigy Finance, and then also Landwise is new, Brain Capital, they new from this year, we're working with them. And I have some African students for the full-time MBA that got their study loan approved also with Landwise. So they're all for international students. So I think we come to a very important part. I don't know what time is it now? It's 5 o'clock?
Almost 5,
Also,
6
okay.
minutes to
Right.
5. Yeah.
So the next step, I would like to introduce you to some of our students that are online with us. So first of all, I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves, but let me just tell you that we have Oare from Nigeria. She did the full-time MBA in 2014. We have Jainaba, who is doing the MBA right now. She's going to be graduating. And we have Bruno, who's in class with Daniel. He's based in Mozambique. He's from Mozambique. Henry from Nigeria, who's based in the Netherlands. And Nyambura from Kenya. She did our monthly format when we didn't have the hybrid format yet, because the hybrid format we started last year in October, because we were receiving so much interest from executives from much further away that said, okay, no, we can't travel every month, but we're really interested in the school and doing this program. So that's why we came with the idea of designing this hybrid MBA. And of course, Daniel, who's here, Cecilia, his spouse, was supposed to be here, but she's not feeling very well. But I mean, we have a lot of students, alumni here. Yeah, so if we could now have everybody, the cameras. Okay, good. Hello, everybody. I see, okay, Chainba is there. Hi, Nyambura, Bruno, Henry. Hi. So you were able to hear me? Yes, sorry for the waiting. There were some technical issues. So thanks for your patience. I know that you're all very busy. So thanks for making time and for being here with us. My first question, and I hope we can hear you, would be maybe if each of you can introduce yourselves, your name, where you're working, where you were working before the program, and then maybe also at the same time telling us, yeah, why you choose Esade. And maybe Bruno, you want to start? You're the first one on the screen.
Okay. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Bruno. Shikalia. I am from Maputo, Mozambique. It is a great pleasure and honor being here, and I hope I managed to help. It's actually one of these events that also convinced me to join. So I was researching for an EMBA since 2018. I did a small course in another school in Switzerland in 2018. I loved it, and that's when. But that was one of those short programs, and that's when I decided I really wanted to go for an EMBA. And then I started researching it. My idea was to start in 2020, so I spent most of my 2019 looking and applying. Then you all know what happened in 2020. So I put all that on hold, and then I think in 2021, I think late 2021, that's when I started researching again. Esade wasn't on my first shortlist, I will admit. But I hadn't even heard of Esade. But then in 2021, when I restarted the process, also my interest had changed a little bit. So I kind of restarted my whole search parameters, and that's when I came across. To me, it was very important, or to tell you why I'm here, why I ended up here. It was very important for me to find something in continental Europe, because I wanted the time zone difference with home to be as close as possible. Right now, I think we are only 1 hour away from Barcelona. In winter, it's 2 hours, but overall, that's okay. East or west, obviously, is farther away. So that was one of the things. And then when I heard about Esade, and then the whole concept of this hybrid, I think that was one of the real factors that really made a difference, because even by 2022, when we began last year, I couldn't commit so much time. Most of the schools that I found, you had to be there pretty much once a month or every 6-7 weeks, so that was a bit tight. Wouldn't suit me. And then I came across Ursi. I found some guys on LinkedIn who had studied at Esade. I'd never been to Barcelona before, I also admit to that, but I knew Spain. It's a wonderful country. It's a great school. I'm really loving it. I think it was one of the smartest decisions I've made. Not for a second I regretted since we began. And yeah, I think to sum it up, that was it. I think the support in the beginning was very important. Just to also to highlight what Ursi said earlier about the kind of assistance that the school gives. That was also very helpful. The schedule for me, I think is great, because I'm a 10-hour flight to go there. Look at you guys in Rwanda. I don't know where does Rwanda fly to in continental Europe, but say in our case, we either fly to Lisbon from here, and then we have to fly to Barcelona, or we have to go to Joburg, or to Oman, and then get to Spain. So it's always long. So I always take about 10 days off when I go, and we've had I think we're going to have in total 4 residentials in Barcelona, plus this international trip that Ursi also spoke about. So it's manageable compared to most of the other ones. I think going forward, you'll start seeing a lot more schools changing to this model, which at the time, I think there was only Esade in another school that were doing it. I'm not going to mention the name because there will be competition. to Ursi, but
thank you,
but
Bruno.
but I think it's very innovative, and I think that's really how we're gonna go. I think that model is really going to work in the future. It's wonderful. Obviously, it's hectic, the workload during the week. Sometimes it can be too much. But the camaraderie within the cohorts, I think, is great. The guys are great. I've met some people which are wonderful. My colleagues, such as Henry, are going to be lifelong friends. Others that are not from our class, but we get together. Janava, we even came across once, and the face automatically becomes recognizable. So yeah, I think I wouldn't have changed anything.
Thank you, Bruno. So yeah, as Bruno said, so there is also a lot of interaction between our executive MBA and a full-time MBA. So we started doing that last year because they're both on the same campus. So there are some electives and some courses that they're doing together. Of course, our full-time MBA, like Geneva, they are on campus all year long. And then when the executive MBAs are having their modules on campus, we try to do networking so that they get to know each other, which is quite nice. So Geneva, talking about you, could you tell us a bit more about yourself, why you choose Esade, what's going to be your next step?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jaina Banjai. I am from Gambia, West Africa, and I've just graduated from Esade a few months ago. I guess what led me to Esade is their entrepreneurship spirit. I worked in the US in engineering for 6 years, and then I decided to move back to Gambia, and I saw that I needed some entrepreneurial skills and business mindset, so I joined Esade. And so now going into the journey, I learned so much through the classes and electives we had, and I came across venture capital. So I'm moving towards that direction now, the other side of entrepreneurship. But whilst in Esade, they gave me a lot of tools. I was in the eWorks Accelerator program, where I learned how to take an idea to business plan and also test like an MVP. We have classes around entrepreneurship as well. Throughout the MBA, we have a lab as well where we can do study tours and visit different startups and VCs as well. I think one thing I like about the MBA is the collaborative spirit and the diversity in not only nationalities, but also backgrounds. And so I got to learn a lot from my classmates. And also the network is huge. Like Ursi mentioned, I got to meet the EMBAs as well. And yeah.
Thank you, Jane. All right, Nyambura.
Hello,
Hi.
Ursi. Hi.
How's Kenya? You're in Kenya right now?
Yes, I'm in Kenya. It's good. It's getting warmer by the day. So I'm happy with that. It's been quite cold. But yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself, what you're doing. You graduated already, so have you seen any change in your career? What impact did the executive MBA have on your career?
Yes, so for the sake of everybody else, I'm Catherine Nyambura from Kenya. I boast that I have almost a decade worth of experience in talent management and organization development. So I've been working in both multinational as well as high growth startups that ultimately ended up becoming scaling towards SMEs. And my diverse journey that led me to the MBA, the EMBA program with Esade, which I just graduated from recently in the beginning of the year. I aimed to transition into a more business-driven role, and also, like Ursi mentioned earlier, to be a better leader, because every time I looked at the individuals that I would like to grow into career-wise, I felt like they had skills that I had not yet developed. And for me, the best way was through academics. So I do indeed think that I achieved a lot by joining my MBA. it's been quite instrumental in providing me not only just the knowledge, but also experience, as well as, like the ability to compare notes, because I was in an executive program, which means pretty much working with diverse leaders from different organizations, as well as also countries. And you gain a lot of confidence by just like, comparing notes and seeing, well, this I knew about it or I didn't, and now I have added it in my skill set. So yeah, so that has definitely propelled my career forward. Actually, a fun fact, Ursi, when you mentioned the percentage of the EMBA class that graduated in 23, I was among the 37% who got promoted while still in the organization, after I joined the program. So yeah, so initially I was a manager, and then I got promoted into director position. Yeah, so for me, I started seeing the fruits of the EMBA early on, and I had an opportunity to also apply most of the skills that I was learning through my sessions. Yeah.
Thank you, Nyambura. Henry, tell us a little bit more about yourself. You moved while you decided to do the executive MBA. You were about to move, or you just moved. In any case, you changed your location, right? You moved to the Netherlands. So tell us a bit more about what impact so far the executive MBA has had on your career, and of course what you're doing, where you're working, what position, and why you choose the executive MBA.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ursi. So for me, doing an MBA has been kind of like a long time coming. So I think I started one online as far back as 2015. But I didn't feel like I was in an MBA. It felt like just an online class. And then I stopped halfway. And then I tried to do this again, but this time I tried to do some full-time MBA. So I got admissions into 2 schools in the UK. But then I was like, are you sure you can leave your job full-time and commit to an MBA? I think for me, I realized that I had too many responsibilities to let go of my job and just focus on an MBA. So I was looking for something that I really could not explain in terms exactly what I wanted. So I dropped the idea of an MBA. I got a job with, I've been with Heineken for about 10 years. So I got a job with Heineken also. So I've been in Nigeria and I got a job in the Netherlands. And then I moved to the Netherlands sometime last year, I think around March, yeah. And then I started the discussion about getting an MBA again. And then I found Esade that provided, I think, a complete blend of what I was looking for, talking about the hybrid, the frequency of traveling, because my job also requires me to travel quite a lot. So I didn't want something that would make me travel so much to the school. And then I felt really connected with the people that were on the admissions team. So that really made me stay or made me start the program. And then I went once for an open day, and I think that just sealed it up. So I was really excited to join the program. And now being in the program for a couple of months, also in the same cohort with Bruno and with Daniel, it's been amazing. It feels like I'm in school, like I'm back in school and not just an online class. It's tasking, yeah. It requires a lot of time, brain efforts, and commitment and all. But it's also very flexible. I think one other very interesting part is, especially for the hybrid for me, is being able to choose between Friday and Saturday for your live classes. So I have some of my colleagues who join on Fridays, and then some of us join on Saturdays. So it really makes it flexible enough for your schedule. And currently I work with Heineken, and I'm a growth and transformation champion in the e-business space, where I manage 6 countries, including Rwanda. So Rwanda, Burundi, Ivory Coast, Congo Brazza, La Reunion, and New Zealand. Those are the countries I currently manage. And the MBA for me has been fantastic. I've learned quite a lot. I've met a lot of great people. I think I also was talking to Catherine before I joined. She was one of the people I was always asking a lot of questions, and then I met Jennifer just a few months ago. Fantastic lady also, even if she's not in my cohort, but it was really good connecting. My network has amazingly increased and improved so far, and that is quite exciting for me.
Thank you, Henry. Thank you, Henry. Danielle. Yes. Yeah, maybe you can, yeah, feel free. Maybe you, I'm gonna do
Yeah. Hey, everyone. Nice to meet you guys. It's a bit, hey guys, Henry, JJ, Yambura, and Bruno. Okay, first let me introduce myself. My name is Daniel. I'm the CEO of Spouts International. So we're a social enterprise that's scaling throughout East Africa. Currently, we're in Uganda, Rwanda, and soon to be expanding in Kenya. Why did I join Spouts? Or sorry, that's for another pitch. Why did I join Esade? It's mainly because of the entrepreneurial mindset, like JJ mentioned. It's largely like the curriculum is really focused on entrepreneurship. And me in my role as the CEO, that was something that was really important. we're in a high growth SME that's scaling relatively fast. And you want to have as much experience as possible. So the curriculum was number one. Two was the network. I go to I'm in the same cohort as Henry and Bruno. I got to meet Jay, like 3-ish months ago when I was in Barcelona. We got to have some conversations. And then just last week when I was in Nairobi, I got to meet Nyambura. So the network is just amazing. And that's one of the top reasons why I wanted to join Esade and be a part of, let's say, this family. So not only on the classmate side, but also on the professors that we work with. They have quite a lot of experience from around the world. So when we're in live sessions, we have breaks, but a lot of times we don't even go on those breaks. We're just picking the brains of the professors, just saying, hey, I'm facing this situation. What do you recommend? Do you have any advice, etc.? And they're able to bring their experience and provide you with some advice you can choose to take. So that's been really helpful. Everyone wants to see you grow. The culture is very amazing. And I'm speaking from the EMBA side, but my wife, who's not here right now, we were at Humboldt Island yesterday. So we were doing work all day. So I think she got something from there, unfortunately, but she really wanted to be there or be here. But she's a full-time MBA. She's graduating next year. And I know she's had nothing but amazing things to say from the full-time MBA as well. It was transformative. Just talking a little bit about her. She was born and raised in Brazil, moved to Uganda, worked in Uganda for about 5 years, and then just is going to complete her full-time MBA next year. And I mean, from a personal standpoint, I've seen that she's really grown quite a lot, and that's due to the curriculum that I mentioned, but also the network as well.
Keep the microphone, so if I don't know if you want to sit or whatever. No, the camera is here. All right, so I saw, Bruno, that we had a young candidate there already interested in Esade joining us. So this make me think about how to organize your family life, because of course, I mean, it's doing an executive MBA is a time investment. So you have to also negotiate with the family, right? So you have to get the support because it is, you have to dedicate some time to it. So how, and maybe I'll ask this question first to Henry, because I also know that he has children, and on top of that, he moved to another country. So can you tell us a bit more about time management and how you combine, what is the workload? Did you see any challenges when you started, and how did you work around that? You're muted, Henry. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted to start with Bruno. Okay, fine. Yeah. So for me, it's It's one of the most interesting parts because you have to, as much as you want to advance in your career, you have to keep a very good balance with family. So I have 2 kids. One is almost 4, so he's 3, and then my daughter is almost 2. And at the time I moved to the Netherlands, my daughter was just born. So it was quite a lot, and people thought I was crazy, like moving to a new country, taking up a new role, having your family, and then starting an executive MBA. So it was quite a lot, but I felt it was the right time to do it, and so far it's been good. I think I have a very understanding family that helps me in ensuring I'm able to pursue my goal. So it's just finding the right balance, I would say. I think I can go a whole day talking about it, but that's that's enough for now.
Okay, thank you, Henry. So there is a lot of travel involved. Being a full-time MBA or executive MBA, there's a lot of opportunities for you to travel around. And I do know that Nyambura, for example, at some point, I didn't know where she was, because during the executive MBA, she was literally traveling around the world. So Nyambura, can you tell us a little more about your experience and yeah, the international weeks, the electives that you did? And you did have, because I think it was at the, you started during COVID, right? So
Yes.
I don't really remember. Yeah. So can you tell us a bit more about your travel experience and time management, and how did you negotiate with your company to have the time off? Because you were doing the monthly format. We didn't have the hybrid at that time. Yeah.
Yes. I think this has been one of the most challenging, but yet most rewarding experience I've ever had. Like Ursi said, I joined like 2021 May. It was in the middle of COVID. I had about the opportunity, went through my exams, passed them, got the letter from the university, and I told everyone I am going. And I remember, like it was yesterday, they just looked at me and said, where? Everywhere is locked down. Yeah, so the challenges were many, including visas, because I'm Kenyan and we have like multiple countries we had to go for the international immersion weeks, as well as also the electives. And I wanted to cover as much as possible. So I needed a plan. I was lucky because my boss supported this 100%. It was part of my individual growth development plan to make me transition into a more business role, like I had mentioned. So he was, first of all, ready to put resources and also in terms of time for me to be able to achieve that. So yeah, so one of them was support that I got from my bosses, as well as also the people I was working with in terms of delegation, because there was a lot of man hours. I was in the monthly program. I needed to travel every other month and sometimes twice in a month. I remember when I was going to Mexico, I had to pass through Spain, get my classes done, and make sure that I do all the assignments before I head over to Mexico, which is kind of like a lot. And then I still had to come back here and deliver the work that my role required me to deliver. So a lot of planning was required, communicating a lot with the teams. And then I had to also include individuals who are from different countries from my network to support me in ensuring that I get visas way ahead of time, because sometimes I had one visa that could not enter another country and I had my passport in a different country. So yeah, so it helps when you can be able to think about all this prior and start communicating with the individuals who have direct links to embassies. Like Ursi has been part of that. I had to constantly ask for letters and for her to, you know, talk to the individuals who work in embassies and see if they can way ahead of time think of me coming back home, giving them my passport and accelerating the process. It was challenging. I'll say anyone who's not ready to put in the work, it's going to be hard. Like now, luckily you have the bi-monthly, but for the monthly and you want to remain also working, it would require a lot of being detail-oriented work, support system, and you have to communicate as much as possible.
Thank you. Thank you, Nyambura. Yeah, Jane, you also, while in the full-time MBA, there's also a lot of opportunities, right, to go abroad, study tours, study tracks. Can you tell a bit more about that? Because at the end, we are working with I mean, I would say the same, as I mentioned before, the Entrepreneurship Institute, it's transversal in Esade, right? So our executive MBA, our full-time MBA, our bachelor students can take advantage of all the activities and opportunities that are given, just to give you an example. And I do know that Janeba was part of the accelerator program, right? But you also did some travel.
Yeah, so we had an entrepreneurship lab, which gave us an opportunity to do a study tour in Berlin. So we traveled to Berlin, the school sponsored the accommodation, and then we got the chance to go to different startups and companies in Berlin and learn more about what they do, and also like build their network. Some few people got opportunities like internship during those tours. We also have exchange programs, just like the EMBA. You can, after your first year, you can choose as either the second or the third or fourth semester to go to an exchange program. And this can be in the US, Australia, Asia, Africa, South Africa. And lastly, we had some other tracks like in Dubai and Miami as well. You could choose either or depending on your interests. So people interested in consulting went to Dubai, people interested in finance went to Miami. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity to travel, and for the eWorks it's remote, so you can be anywhere, but the main headquarters is on campus. And this is during the summer. So if you don't want to go back home this summer, it will be a great opportunity to be there in person. But if not, you can also do it from wherever you're going to be. But it's a good program if you're looking to get into entrepreneurship or just take the summer to test out an idea.
Yeah, so this accelerator program, and the manager of the eWorks, he's here. He's going to be moderating the roundtable at 6 o'clock. So as Jane was said, so this accelerator program is open not only for students of Esade, but also for companies. So what we did in order also to give exposure to Esade and to show what we're doing, last year we did a tech startup competition in Kenya, and that was together with BCG was there with us, and then also Glovo. I don't know if you heard about Glovo. They're not present in Rwanda, but they're in a lot of African countries. They're the transport service, the motorbike transport delivery. So it's a company that was, I would dare to say, partly born in Esade. So it's a Spanish company. So we've been working with them, setting up a tech startup competition in Kenya, and then the winner of that tech startup competition got an accelerator program in Barcelona. The same what Davide is now doing with his team with an Italian NGO. He's going to explain that later. So they're doing now here in Kigali a similar. It's called Africa Startup, well, it's Be Entrepreneurs, the name of the NGO. It's in Italian, and they're doing the same. So they're now here in Rwanda in the Norsken. There are about 25 startup companies present from Rwanda, but also from other East African countries and from Nigeria. So they're doing this competition. 5 of them will also win an accelerator program. So there's a lot of initiatives going on, and we like to do them in Africa because there's so much, talent here. And we also want to be part of that and give the opportunities also to the companies to learn from what's going on the other side of, on the other continent, right? All right, so I think we have about 5 minutes left. So another question that I would like to ask all of you, if you had any challenges when joining the program or during the program, and how did you resolve them? Maybe starting Danielle, did you have any challenges?
Yeah, sure. I've had challenges, numerous challenges, but I think Nambura was talking about this before. It's just like planning, right? Making mistakes, planning, really just preparing for those challenges, and then also having that network Like I'm with Henry and I'm with Bruno. We speak like almost in the very beginning, we spoke daily. Like we had a WhatsApp group. Everyone was just trying to communicate, trying to overcome the challenges together. And we are the first cohort to go through this hybrid program. But I would say what very successful, and that was just through us working together as a team to overcome some of these challenges. So yeah, that's something that I really appreciate. And it just comes back down to one of the reasons why I really, really enjoy Esade and the experience that it provides. And that's through the network, the class, the professors, everything.
Yes, and maybe what Nyambura said before, the traveling and the visa procedures and all that. So maybe let me tell you a bit more about that. So once you're admitted to the program, you're enrolled in the program, you will receive an official admittance letter. With that letter, of course, you can apply for the visa. Having been admitted by the school gives, of course, a guarantee because, I mean, we're working together, and personally, I'm establishing relations with consulates and embassies all around Africa, right, in order to accelerate this process also, right? So recently in Nigeria, the consul came to the event. In Ghana, the ambassador, also in Kenya, the ambassador came to our event. So we're trying to establish those relations, because it is important at the moment, I mean, when we have to help our students for a visa, right? So we're trying our best with that. But of course, I would recommend then, and some advice from my side is not to wait until the very last month, because then it might get a little bit stressful, right, in order to get your visa. But now for the hybrid format, I don't have the schedule here in front of me, but you will start online. And this year, the first face-to-face module is going to be in November. I think towards the end of November. So that means that even if you're interested in starting this year, I mean, it's very much feasible from our side. It's going very fast. So once you do your application, once you start your application, you will be connected with my colleague who's doing the back office, who's will help you through the application, will organize a call with you, go through the documents that you need to provide. The test is available almost every day, not in August, but again from the 31st of August. So there also we have the results in 2 days. So once your application is complete, you have done the test, in 1 week time, you will know that you're admitted to the program. And then, of course, if you're applying for a scholarship, I do recommend to also do that at the same time, because then once you are admitted to the program, the next week we can discuss your scholarship in the scholarship committee. And then in 1 week time, you will know that you're admitted, you have what scholarship you have, and you can then immediately, well, once you've done the deposit fee payment, of course, you can then get a letter and start your visa procedure. So I would like to ask you if you have any questions for the students. Yeah, who wants to go? Yes, please.
Thank you, Ursi and the team. It was a quite informative presentation. My question is, at some point you mentioned some of the universities you're partnering with. Are there any African universities you could share with us?
Yes, for the exchange program, we have the University, I think, of Cape Town. So we do an exchange program with them, but that's the only one so far that we have a relationship with, that I know of.
For the full-time MBA, we have an official partnership with UCT already for a long time. So they have the exchange program, our master programs, which is the Master International Management. They have their study tour also at UCT. It's a week that is focused on doing business in Africa. And then for the executive MBA, we work with GIBS for electives. I believe I don't know if have you already received the list with electives? Yeah, is GIBS, because it might some years it's updated, but I think GIBS is there, right? Yeah, okay. And then we also have a partnership with Stellenbosch University in South Africa. They are sending their executive MBA to Esade for a week module. Where they concentrate on entrepreneurship. So what was very funny there, and so we had, well, mainly South Africans and also some from Namibia at Esade. When they were there, I met them, and they were so impressed that they said, oh, if we had known, we would have preferred to do the executive MBA at Esade, because what we've learned in 1 week on entrepreneurship is what we've seen in an entire year in our executive MBA. So what was funny there, that's when I went to Namibia, when I went to South Africa, they're really helping me to promote the Esade Executive MBA. So they've been talking to also candidates, talking about their experience of the week that they spend in Esade. So these are, I would say, more official partnerships, but of course we are collaborating with other schools, and that's then more work that I'm doing, like here with African Leadership University. We have the Dean of the ALU Business School who's going to be part of the panel now. So there, but I would say there are not like official partnerships, and we do have I don't know what, because that's for our bachelor program. I'm not familiar with that, but we do have like a summer school where we also have students from different African schools coming to Esade, and it's like a summer program that can be 2 weeks up to 2 months with specific modules. So so yeah, this regarding Africa, because you asked for Africa, right? Yeah. Any other question? Yes.
Hi, I think my question will go to Henry, because as he was speaking, I felt I've been trying to find a school that I can go to. I have over 20 years experience working. I can't remember the last time I went to class. And so I'm really looking for a school that will incorporate that fact and that will actually teach me. I'm very worried about the online school. So I feel Henry spoke to that fear for me. And that's really why Esade was so interesting for me, because it allows me to continue with work, but also I actually learn from people that are going to teach me. I don't know. I think, Henry, you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, and your fear is very valid. Trust me, I also tried doing an MBA first, like I said, in 2015, and it didn't feel like what I'm currently doing. And I also did not want to leave Heineken to go for a full-time MBA. And now I'm very happy with my decision. And I think it's, like Daniel said, it's one of the best decisions we've taken in a long while. So it's very convenient for you to do alongside with your work, and you would learn a lot, especially not just because of the professors and the curriculum, but because of the people you have in your cohort. Like I have the likes of Bruno, I have the likes of Daniel in my cohort. What else am I looking for? You can see Bruno's face is full of experience, and Daniel the same thing. So for me, I think it's very important how Esade have a great mix of the students, not just from different countries, but also based on their functions and also their experience in different industries. That for me, it's very important.
One last question, because then I think we're gonna start with the registration, or we still have some time. We can continue. Okay, all right. So any other questions? No. Sorry?
Can I just follow up on what
Yes, please
Henry
go
was
ahead.
saying?
Sorry.
Sorry, I just want to compliment a little bit on what Henry was saying, because I think that fear is justified. It's really nothing out of the ordinary, especially when you've graduated a long time ago. And I'll be honest with you, I think if there's one thing pretty much all of us underestimated, was how hard the first, Henry, 6 weeks or so, how hard it was in the beginning, because it's one thing when they tell you, at these open, not at these open days, but at these sort of events, that, oh no, it takes you about 8 hours or so a week of, that you need to set aside, plus the classes on Saturdays. And you try to put that as an up 1 hour a day, that's going to be enough. And but once you start actually doing it, and then you've got the deadlines coming up, and all of a sudden it feels like there's a zillion deadlines all at once. In the beginning, it really can get overwhelming until you organize yourself and you structure your life around it. What I can tell you, in addition to what Henry just said, is that even the school is great in the way there's this email that they send every Monday, like the bulletin. And it's so cool because that's like you getting out of bed and there's breakfast is there, because it just sums up everything that you need to do for the week. How many hours will that take? When is it due by? So as long as you print that and you carry that with you, that's halfway done. And I think even most of us took a while to just really understand how valuable that was. And then the second thing is really everyone around you, because the guys are really supportive. At one point, you will fall behind and someone will pick it up and will support you. And then the next time will be you. So I think it's just in the beginning that it's really hard. But then once you get into the flow, this is the first time we're actually having a break now in August, right, Henry, Daniel? And you're like, we're feeling like kids, like, oh, we're on holiday. But I'm sure that once September comes back, I think it should be easier, because now it's cruise control. But don't worry about it. And even the lectures, the professors, if you guys talk and you need to postpone something, they will accommodate as far as it's possible. So that's cool. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, so that's something what I wanted to add. So there is flexibility. We're very flexible. And I think that everybody can agree with that, right? If you have any issues or with work or personal, or we always try to adapt and make it as smoothly as possible for you, right? So talking about flexibility, for example, if for any reason you need to stop the program, because change of job and you can't continue, there is the option to continue with the next year, right? So if you say, okay, now I have to stop, I can't do this year, you can continue with the next cohort. Or if, for example, if there's one complete week module that for any reason you cannot attend, in that case, well, most probably you will be asked to do it, because you will be losing a lot of content. If it's one day, it's different as if it's one full week, right? In that case, also you will have the possibility to do that week with the next cohort. Of course, if that week falls before your group graduates, you can still graduate with your group. If that week that you have to take is later, you will then graduate with the next edition, right? So but we're really flexible, and there's always a lot of help from administration, from the academic director, guiding you with if there are any issues, to make sure that you're up with everything, right? Maybe maybe one last advice. We start with Daniel. For candidates, if they want to apply, what do you think is important to take in account? I'm gonna
yeah. So I would say the main thing for me, just enter with an open mind. You get in, or you get what you put in, right? There's a huge network that you have, like the cohorts, people in the full-time MBA, people in the monthly EMBA. The experience there is very, very valuable. Like we're in the hybrid EMBA, we have 32 students, 25 different countries, right? So just think about that. Like for our company, we're speaking with people in Japan, in Africa, in Europe, in the US. So that skill is huge, right? And then whenever actually this happened the other day, where we're about to have a meeting with someone from Japan, I've actually never had a meeting with someone from Japan. I can actually reach out to someone in the full-time MBA to see, like, hey, what should I take note of, right? That network is huge. So just go in with an open mind. You get what you put in. And I would say the returns are quite amazing, right? I've seen myself grow quite a lot professionally and also personally as well. So it's like one of the best decisions that I've made.
Okay, Henry, any advice from your side?
Not sure what advice I should give, but I think I was chatting with Daniel on the side, and then we said, even if I stop right now, I think I've learned enough. And even if I stop the MBA like right now, I think I've learned quite a lot. And then I have a very fantastic network already. So along the way, you don't even need to wait till the end before you start seeing the results. Along the way, you start seeing results from the first month, from how collaborating with others to do assignments, aligning on time zones and all of that. All of this are skills that would be very important if you're working and if you're interacting with people. So for me, just do it. Don't think about it too much.
Thank you, Henry. Jane?
Yeah, I guess I'll just take off where Henry ended with like just doing it. It just takes that, just start the application process. I know there might be some requirements you feel like you might not meet, but there's other ways around it. So just reach out to alumni. Maybe you can reach out to us if you're doing the application process so we can help you better understand how to navigate around it. But just do it, and there's more chances doing it than not doing it. So yeah.
Thank you. Nyambura?
My advice is not different from the rest. Classes and sessions are important, but people are very important. I felt like the way I was embraced by the other students in the classes and the administration gave me that confidence and ability to perform even better in the classes. And also today I'm able to call upon different people and say, I am looking at this opportunity. How do you think I should go about it? And the only reason they stop and help me is because I also stopped at some point and had that connection with them and conversations that were beyond just assignments and stuff like this.
Thank you. Bruno?
No, I think Henry put it really, really well. If it were to stop now for any reason, I think we're already much richer than when we came in. Again, it'll be funny, but I think also in the first 6 weeks, some of us questioned what did we do to get ourselves here, and to put ourselves when it was really overwhelming. And we're like, we're paying for this, and it's crazy. But right now, I think some of us are starting to worry that, at one point it will end. But yeah, it's a really great experience. It's a wonderful city. We're going to Madrid next in October. I think it's going to be great as well. Yeah, just start the process. Do what you can. Reach out to us if you have any particular questions, if anything comes to mind, and we'll gladly. I mean, we could be at the beach or something right now. We're on holiday, but I don't think none of us hesitated when Ursi reached out. So we're here to help. We're here because someone also helped us get here. So I think that's what we must do. So if you need anything, guys, feel free.
Thank you. Thank you so much to all of you. I saw that Jane has to run to class. So thanks to all of you for once again sharing your experience. If you have time, I send you guys the link to the next session. If you want to join us, feel free. And I hope what I suggest is, I'm sure you don't mind that I send a follow-up to all of the people here that are here today with your LinkedIn profiles. So if they want to reach out to you, is that okay for everybody?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, thanks for being here. Good luck. And well, I hope to see you soon somewhere in the world. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You guys
Take
should
care,
not
guys.
forget to
Bye,
to
take
take
care.
a product of Heineken Braliwa when you live there.
It's great. Henry, they have really good
Oh.
beer here. I must say they're really good. They're really good beer.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
gonna put
Local.
water, but beer also works.
Yeah, Henry, in Kenya, we have a lot of competition. 254 is rocking.
Don't worry, we're coming.
See you guys.
Alright.
All right,
Bye.
bye.
Guys.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Back.